Morning, this is Brian. Today is Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025, and I'm here in Solana Beach, San Diego County, and I'm here parked at the end of North Rios. My plan is to get down and hike Annie's Canyon today. I'm finally going to take a stab at hiking Annie's Canyon. It's probably about, well, actually I can get a good estimate of the time because I can look at my clock here. It's just after 6 this morning. I'm in this wooded grotto here, coming down from North Rios. Nice wooded area here of willows and cottonwoods and oh boy, yeah, when I come back I'll get some better footage of this. But there's a toyon tree over here, a full leaf tree-sized toyon right up here. I'll probably get better footage of this on the way back, but this thing's about a 35-foot toyon tree. It's got a few trunks and it's got one main massive trunk on it. So when I come back, I'll be getting better footage of this. There's some big trees over here. Put an Audubon's cottontail hopping across. Wow, yeah. We got a massive old Fremont cottonwood here too. Oh yeah, when I come back, there's gonna definitely be some really good footage. This is a huge cottonwood tree too. Wow. Boy, just a few steps from the trailhead, I'm already deep into this crazy botanical journey. Wow. Some big shrubs and trees over here. Oh boy, yeah, when I come back, this is going to be quite a way to wrap up my hike. It's kind of dark to really get good footage right now. So, I'm going to hike down this and hopefully be able to get some good footage soon. There's some pretty large shrubs and large trees growing here. All right. Oh yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting day. Oh, it's already shaping up to be one. Oh boy. All right, well, I'm going to start working my way down this and I'll keep you posted. All right, so I have a couple of options. I think I'm going to end up reaching a trail junction. Should be able to be reaching a trail junction at some point. I can go one way to go around San Elijo Lagoon to get towards a nature center. That'll be, I believe, a left turn, and then a right turn to head over to Annie's Canyon. Now that I got an early start, might be able to knock out both adventures in one hit here today. Okay, here's a trail junction. Ooh. Let's see. Okay, just as I suspected, that's going to go over towards Annie's Canyon. Annie's Canyon's up that way. This way, you could wander off towards the nature center. So this is San Elijo Lagoon. I think what I'll do is I'll go head along this way, head over towards the nature center, and then head up towards Annie's Canyon in a little bit. Just walk along this big north-facing cliff here. Absolutely enchanted. Absolutely beautiful. There are a lot of willows here because we got this lagoon here, so we got some wetlands and some massive black sage right here. This thing's big. There's a lot of super-sized stuff growing here. Yeah. There's a little viewing platform. Yeah, this is San Elijo Lagoon right here. Yeah. San Elijo Lagoon. Well, it looks like we got saltgrass here. I think this is the stickless spicata, I believe. Or the cordgrass, it's one of those. Wow. And so you get to walk from that apartment complex or condo community there, and the trail takes you gently down over here. I'll tell you one thing, after this heat we've been having, and it's been pretty, especially bad where I live. Yesterday felt like it was about 105 where I lived. Here, I think it's supposed to, even here it's supposed to be in the low 80s today, I think. This, even down here. Yeah, there's Interstate 5. That's going to be probably in our view pretty much the entire time we're here today. Annie's Canyon's back off that way. One of the relatively few slot canyons this side of Hansa-Borrego Desert State Park. And we did get some marine layer overcast over here. We're right basically at the immediate coastline here, which I'll take. Though I will say, with the dew point, it's probably the dew point itself is probably around 70 degrees, so it is very muggy. Temperature itself is probably about, I would say, anywhere from 69 to 72 degrees right now. Alright, well, I'm going to keep moving and I'll see you on my next clip. See what else I find. Alright, so I'm hiking along this. Heading actually back towards the mesa over here. Interesting. I thought I was supposed to be heading over towards that way. Okay, oh well. I'm actually heading back towards the canyon area. Very scenic here, I'll tell you that. This is another really neat looking area. Very interesting. So we're actually heading towards these beautiful bluffs overlooking this area. Looks like there's going to be a split here. So I'm going to first bear to the left, see where this goes. I'll probably come back and see over there on that side, on the right, where that goes. Alright, let's see where this leads. Alright, so now we're entering almost like an Australian outback kind of scene here. We got a lot of non-native stuff growing here. It's a type of wattle. Not sure what species it is. I'd have to probably see it in bloom or in seed to tell. But we got what I suspect. Some of this I suspect might be blackwood, but I can't tell. That looks like that might be blackwood, but I can't really tell yet. Yeah. And then a New Zealand native here called Ingayo. or Myoporum lightum. Yeah, these kind of look like blackwoods. I think this is Acacia melanoxylon, blackwood wattle, blackwood acacia. Yeah, there's a lot of non-native tree growth here, which more like large shrubs, but yeah. What type of eucalypt are we seeing here? Can't tell from here. It's still not exactly really bright out. So I suspect these are Eucalyptus cladicalix, but I almost smell the distinct smell of blue gum, which has a different smell than the other eucalyptus. Yeah, okay, yeah, there we go. Eucalyptus globulus, probably subspecies globulus. Yeah, you can smell it from a quarter of a mile away. Blue gum is a very, very aromatic species of eucalypt. So yeah, that's a blue gum right there. Those look like Eucalyptus cladicalix sugar gums. Very interesting area. Of course, we're also jam-packed with lots of natives. Boy, I want to get back to the trailhead. Oh boy, I'm actually looking forward to that part as well, because it'll be lighter out and I'll get some better footage of the large shrubs and trees growing there. There we go. Here we got several of these growing around here too. Blue elder, Sambucus cerulean. There's a lot of that growing around here too. There's a lot of trail splits here. So I've stayed left at the last couple of splits. Curious to find out what these are here. They're not native. Yeah, I think these are blackwoods. Acacia melanoxylon. That's what these appear to be. These are pretty decent sized specimens. Wow. These are quite interesting, to be honest with you. Wow, they got some pretty decent sized trunks on them too. There's another type of wattle growing here as well. Actually, they got both juvenile and adult foliage on them, so I'm a little confused. The adult foliage are these strappy looking structures that are not fully developed leaves. It's right here. They're called phyllodes. Yeah, it's called phyllodes. These are actually just basically leaf stalks. They look like regular leaves, but they function as full leaves, even though they're not fully developed leaves. Because in their dry climates, it's really expensive to produce the energy required for full-blown leaves. But this one here is a different species. This one actually develops as full leaves, and they're these bipinnately compound ferny-like leaves, which are divided twice into leaflets. I'm not sure. This might be Acacia dealbata, actually. Now that I get a closer look at this, this might be Acacia dealbata. I'll have to double check it. I think that's what this one is. So I think we have a couple different species growing here. We might. Very curious. That's a pretty decent sized specimen too. That one's not lacking in size. It's actually quite beautiful. Get some more pictures of it later. Yeah, this is very interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. Maybe I'll take the right here and see if this links back to Annie's Canyon. Maybe knocked out that part of the adventure. Before it gets crowded, who knows. There's more Tasmanian blue gum right here. Yeah, it's a very fragrant, very wonderfully fragrant tree. All right, my battery's gonna die, so I'm gonna need to switch batteries. See you on the next clip. Didn't take long, mere seconds after my last clip. We got walnuts growing in here. I think these are the Southern California walnuts here, Juglans californica. Interesting. Yeah, got a couple walnuts growing here too. Oh, it's so fragrant here, that blue gum. Blue gum eucalyptus really is fragrant. So I think this is going to be a very interesting configuration, hike, the directions. So I was actually going to go walk over towards the nature center area. This is very interesting. I'm sure a lot of wattle trees growing here. I suspect these are blackwoods here. Yeah, these appear to be Acacia melanoxylon here. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, they're definitely been known to naturalize here. Okay. So this heads up towards Solana Hills. So probably going to be a few side trips today. Cross over here. I don't have to jump. Well, there's the Annie's Canyon Trail. So this leads up towards Solana Hills up there. Huh. So this is the way I would have come. I would have come from here, gone this way if I had parked at the end of Solana Hills. Okay, well. Very interesting. All right, I'm gonna keep on pushing this way, and I'll go ahead and bank, take a left at that next junction. I guess it'll take me to Annie's Canyon. So I'm back at the junction. Got that trail going that way, and that's where I continued going that way. Okay. General Parks Loop. Okay, so still on the Annie's Canyon Trail. Yeah, these acacia trees here are just interesting. Look how large some of them get. That's probably a blackwood right there too. Here's another one. There's another big blackwood right here. Wow. Now we got the Cladocalix, Eucalyptus Cladocalix. These are pretty big. So I've come a little different way on the way up here. Yeah, here's some pretty monstrous Eucalyptus Cladocalix. Alright, so I'm supposed to be heading up that way. Heading towards a slot canyon right now. All right. Yeah, Oh, this is different. Yeah, I think this one's Dale Bata, I believe that's silver wattle, I think. Although double checking on that. Okay. Now, I'm going to try to see if I could do both. Try to loop. So this way to the slot canyon. This way just goes to the viewpoint a little more easily. Well, I'm just trying to experience the slot canyon today. All right. Ooh. Hello, buddy. A little Audubon. You're an Audubon's, right? I think that's an Audubon's. Pretty interesting. All right. Okay. Probably have to take my backpack off and hold it over my head for some of this. Not exactly the slimmest guy in the world. So, just whatever you do when you come here, just be respectful, stay on trail. Yep. Oh, yeah, this is pretty nice. Just finally some native action here. We got some toyon growing here. You're more likely to see slot canyons like this in Anza-Borrego Desert State Park. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty sick. It's all this marine sandstone carved out by wind and gully washers. Yep. Yeah, pretty neat. Not gonna lie. Just whatever you do when you're here, don't do what some of these other people do. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Just have some respect. I'm just very gently touching it. I'm not doing anything hard with it because I respect these natural features here. All right, let's see. Am I gonna have to de-backpack? No. If you're claustrophobic, you might not enjoy this too much, but I'm just mostly claustrophobic with people. What's this here? Let's see. This is what they call a mushroom cave. See, back in the day, this area was all covered in graffiti before it was turned into a nature preserve. And there's some of the remnant graffiti. This is that mushroom cave. What a shame, man. People have to ruin it for everybody else. Nonetheless, this is a pretty insanely awesome place. Just need to get my short legs up this a little bit. Woo boy. Pretty cool. All right. Okay. Yeah. Boy, am I sweating something fierce right now. Okay, here's the first set of steps right here. All right. I'm actually gonna have to stop filming for a few seconds because I'm gonna need both hands for this. So, catch you at the top of this part here. Yeah, it's not that bad at all. There are places you can grab with your hands without any problems. If you're extremely claustrophobic, you might be a little uncomfortable, but the little stairwell section's pretty easy. And now, pretty tight spot over here, so let's just take it slowly and you'll be fine. No big deal. Whew. All right. Whew. Okay, so I guess it ends over here. I'm just gonna go up here. Not gonna lie, that was pretty neat. All right, this is it. Annie's Canyon. Just need to catch my breath because it is kind of steep. It is very steep, but totally doable. My concern was I was going to be too wide to fit through there, because I am on the heavy side, to be honest with you. I am on the heavy side, but I was expecting to have to take my backpack off and hold it over my head or hold it on the side of me, but no. I only took it off once at the very beginning of the Narrows. The rest of the time I was able to get through there without any problems. Nice, I got to experience a slot canyon. So, not gonna lie, I'm pretty stoked. That was pretty neat. And I was able to do it without during the 110-degree heat of the desert. Right here near the immediate coastline. So that's all this marine sedimentary sandstone. I guess probably hordes of storms over the millennia just carved out this gnarly gully here, and that was the resultant bit there. Now, coming up it's a one-way. So the trail is supposed to be one way up through the slot canyon, and then you loop down on the trail to get back down the hill. So be sure, you're going to be committing yourself if you start the canyon. Like I said, I didn't find it very difficult. Steep, so you're going to be huffing and puffing, but technically, I didn't find it too bad. I found it pretty fun, actually. Most people are going to find this pretty fun. It's just, like I said, just be mindful. If you're starting it, once you're in the canyon, it's one way out. It's one way up. So don't, just make sure you commit yourself and just take your time and enjoy it. It's not a race. And I did it, and there's nobody else on the trail right now. The only people I saw were some trail runners down by the lagoon. I had this whole spot to myself all the way up. Didn't have anybody behind me or in front of me. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked that I was able to do this without being stuck behind somebody or holding somebody else up, being stuck behind me. So it's time for some photography, because I gotta get some pictures of this pretty cool, nifty spot. All right, so now it's time for me to start going down the switchbacks. this is a two-way trail here. You can go up this or down this if you don't want to do the slot canyon. But I very highly recommend doing the slot canyon. I very highly recommend it because it's pretty fun. Now, you're not supposed to go back down it. Like I said, it's a one-way. So once you climb up to the top, you're going to go down this trail here. Like I said, you can go up and down this one if you want to avoid the slot canyon, but I very highly recommend it. A cool little experience. Now, here we are. We're in some chaparral now. And we got some coastal chamise growing here, some Adenostoma fasciculatum variety obtusifolium growing here. We got wart stem ceanothus growing here, Ceanothus verrucosus. So yeah, we did get some southern maritime chaparral. Here's another wart stem ceanothus right here. In addition to our typical or abundant coastal sage scrub plants like the laurel sumac, lemonade berry, toyon, which is also a chaparral. They're all also chaparral plants, but lots of sagebrush. Here's a single-stemmed wart stem ceanothus right here. Wow. It's a single-stem specimen here. And yes, here we go, laurel sumac. You know I got to point this out. You already know what time it is. And I didn't even wear the best footwear today. I didn't want to bring I didn't bring my hiking shoes with me. But just take your time, and actually wearing these type of little sneaker type shoes here, and I was fine. Just take your time. What kind of agave do we have going on over here? Look at that. Yeah, this definitely requires more photography, because the hike down this trail is really nice too. It's very scenic. So, yep. And you know, if you've seen my other videos, you know I love canyons. All different types of canyons. Wide ones, tiny ones, gentle ones, rugged ones, slot canyons. They all fits the bill, in my opinion. So yeah, this is the other trail. So I get to experience both of it. So if you go up the slot canyon and come down this, you get to experience both of the trails. So that's why I highly recommend doing both. This is a very gently switchbacking trail, and it's got wooden steps built in. Yeah. It's cool to finally experience that. That's why I filmed 90% of the hike in it. I didn't take as many pictures as I probably should have, but it's alright. It's all part of the video. Yeah, so we're in this blackwood. Yeah, still more blackwood acacia. They look like eucalyptus. They look like eucalyptus trees. And they're native to where eucalyptus is native. However, if you see these trees that look like eucalyptus trees, you'll know they're not. Because, again, the phyllodes, very similar in shape to a eucalyptus leaf, but they're a little rubbery, a little more rubbery, and the venation's different, and they don't have that eucalyptus smell. And if you look carefully enough, some of these trees will have small seed pods in them. Another indication that you're not looking at eucalyptus. They have small seed pods about that long that are brown in color. Eucalyptus trees get seed capsules. They're usually rounded, and in Australia they call them gum nuts, which are just, they're seed capsules. Acacias, wattles, and blackwood, they all get seed pods or legumes. There are two completely separate plant families. The eucalyptus being in the myrtle family, and the acacias being in the legume pea family, the Fabaceae. So we got a scrub oak here with the acorns. Look at I think this is an acutidens, but it's got this little tiny thing's got acorns on it. I think this could be a Berbertifolia though. This could be a Berbertifolia, but yeah, it's either a Berbertifolia or an acutidens. It kind of looks like it could be either or, to be honest with you. Very beautiful, slight lobing in some of the leaves, and this little tiny thing's got acorns on it. That is so cool. All right, making my way down the switchbacks, the Ennis Canyon Trail. Yep, no peak climbing this week. I just knew I had to do something a little different, something that I hadn't done before, and it worked out in awesomeness. Yeah, okay, so we're just about back at the split. So I'm going to go just a few steps up. I'm just going to take a couple of pictures. So, very fun, very fun. Definitely an experience you need to have. Alright, so that's from whence I came. So I went up this, up to the viewpoint, and then down the switchbacks here. Now what I'm going to do is start working my way along this and see if I can add some more to the adventure today. It's a very short hike so far, so I'm not ready to just call this the end and just go back home. Totally not ready for that yet. It's too early to go back home. In fact, it's not even an hour since I've checked the time. It's only 7:03 right now. I'm definitely not ready to go home. So I'm gonna go head this way now. I see. Should be able to link up with a trail that goes near the coastline. A lot of these Silva Lagos Auduboni today. A lot of these Audubon's cottontails. Early in the morning is a good time to see the little bunnies. They're so precious looking. Look at that. They're so precious. I just love it. And here we go. Eucalyptus globulus, subspecies globulus. Seed capsules. Oh no, these are flower buds. Flower buds. This one's a more moderate sized one, but even the moderate sized ones are pretty decent in size. All right, so I'm gonna go head back this way and see if I can access the other trails heading towards the other side. I purposely was trying to head over towards the nature center area to get a really decent loop going. I was going to loop back, try either that or do an out and back and try to come up this way and do Ennis Canyon afterwards. But so Ennis Canyon, definitely a pretty cool site, pretty cool for a lot of people. It's going to be the main trip on their San Elijo Lagoon Conservation Area hike. But for me, it's just part of the adventure I'm having because I want to explore more of this gorgeous landscape here. But it's definitely a very, very interesting spot, I'll tell you. Yeah, that was really fun. Really fun. Highly recommended. 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, 1,000 out of 1,000. So now I'm here, slightly higher up above San Elijo Lagoon. So I'm going a different way now. little bit higher up above it. Trying to see what else I'm going to find here. So stay tuned. I passed by some sacred datura, or some western Jimson weeds, some datura wrightii, along the Annie's Canyon Trail here in San Elijo Lagoon. Alright, so as we're moving into September, continuing through September, well into October, and sometimes even November, Coast Golden Bush will be lit. It's starting to explode right now. This is Isocoma menziesii variety verninoides. This is one of the two variants that are upright. Pretty nice. Wow. And these buckwheats too. Got a few different species of buckwheats growing here. This one I'm going to have to kind of research what it is. It's definitely one I will have heard about, but right now it's drawing a blank as to what species of Eriogonum this is. This isn't parvifolium, is it? I don't know. I'll have to double check. But yeah, that Isocoma menziesii variety verninoides. I love when these things bloom. It's just such a cheerful time of the year to see them blooming. And look at this little amphitheater here. Yes, we even have, which I'm not surprised, but always happy to see it, native Torrey pines, Pinus torreana, subspecies torreana, growing up on the bluffs. Always a very welcome sight. Now, while we're at it, there's another little piece of botanical interest, and it's this low-growing, ground-covered, suffrutescent perennial. In other words, it's a perennial subshrub, and it's called California croton, Croton californicus. Growing along here too. California croton seems to really love these sandier soils, and that's very indicative of their habit. Wow. Yeah, it's just so fun. This is awesome. Good stuff here. And yep, lemonade berry. You see some pretty big ones when you're first coming down. If you're taking the trailhead I did to get more distance, coming from the end of North Rios Avenue, you start off in almost like a forest of willows. And yeah, when I get back there and see that big toyon, I'll get some pictures and some video of that. You'll see it a lot better. Oh, we got some Dudleya edulis too. Lady fingers. Right there. Look at that. Dudleya edulis. And spectacular, these western Jimson weeds. The flowers are huge. One of the largest flowers of our California native plants. Matulija poppy in the genus Rhamnia. Those are the largest, a little bit larger than that. And here we go. Another Torrey pine right in this little gulch. And telegraph aster. Heteroteca grandiflora. Pretty common mainstay of disturbed areas and trail sides. Heteroteca grandiflora. Little flower heads. Look like daisies, because they're in the sunflower family, Asteraceae. Yeah, this is very beautiful here. Glad I'm able to take you guys along on this one. This is definitely a special place. Sheesh, I wonder what else. See, where I'm parked is over at the end near that small mesa. A bunch of little apartments over there and condos. That's where North Rios is. So what I need to do is navigate my way to a trail that goes along there, goes past a little power facility, and goes over towards here where Manchester Avenue is over there. So I can get another out and back on this. It's way too early for me to stop this. Yeah, there's an Annie's Canyon Trail sign. And some huge Malacothamnus fasciculatus fasciculatus. These things are huge. Yeah, these are huge chaparral bush mallows. Whew, man. A lot of stuff is supersized in this area. Okay, cool. Time for some pictures. Yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty long video, unfortunately. All right, barely a few more steps into this. There's a lot to point out. Bear with me. Here's a pretty big laurel sumac thicket right here with a nice jumble of pretty large stems in there. Pretty impressive. And there's a lemonade berry over there. And not a San Diego County native, but a California native nevertheless. Looks like we got ourselves a Monterey cypress sapling. It's amazing how randomly those things seem to pop up. I mean, Monterey cypress is a very rare native in Central California, only in a couple little tiny spots near the bay, the Monterey Bay. And yet they seem to randomly pop up here in San Diego County. I'm not complaining. Well, here's a nice cool little gulch that comes through here. This must be a seasonal arroyo that comes down from the canyon, probably when the rains probably cut this little gully through here. These little micro details, again, like I say in other videos, micro details, macro details, but also micro details make these so interesting. Little hummingbird buddy. Can't tell what species that is. There it goes, making this little synthesizer like chirps. I'm not sure. That might not even be an Anna's hummingbird. Anna's hummingbird is the one I typically see or recognize. But Anna's hummingbird is actually our largest species of hummingbird. And it's really tiny to begin with. Yeah. What an absolutely exhilarating place this is. This is, to me, this is very high charge. This is very high charge awesomeness. Decent toy on here. A young toy on here. Oh, I love this so much. This is why I hike. You even got dragon sagewort growing here. Artemisia dracunculus. It's blooming right now too, so should be getting seeds on those soon. And this north-facing cliff here is just delectably beautiful. And here's something else I seem to find randomly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue going this way, but first I want to do a quick little detour just for a second or two. I might go on this trail later, actually. Maybe. I think this leads to a lookout, so I may as well go for it now. I think there's a small lookout here. But every now and then I'll see a random Italian stone pine just randomly in some canyon or nature preserve. It's not native, it's native to the Mediterranean, but every now and then I come across those in some very random spots too, like the Monterey cypress. Alright, so yeah, I think this leads to a lookout. And we got some arroyo willow on this side here. Yeah, well, it seems like our willows can tolerate some brackish water as well. This has to be brackish. Okay, so we got a little lookout here. I think this is where I went this morning. Yeah, this is where I was this morning. So what I should have done is just kept going straight. So I was already here. It was just a lot darker, so there's a lot of this stuff I didn't see as well. Yeah, I saw that little lookout there. I'm not going to put this little mini detour, because what I ended up doing was I followed this trail, and it went around, and it went back towards the Annie's Canyon Trail. And that's how I got to do Annie's Canyon before I actually was going to do it, which probably worked out better, because the later you get, the more likely you'll get foot traffic. And I take my time on these hikes. I like to film and explain. I love filming and explaining, botanizing. So a lot of times I'm slower, and I don't want to be rude and hold everybody up, but I also want to get the footage. There's a lot of dragon sagewort here. It's also called wild tarragon, but I don't think this one is very palatable, this wild form. Yeah. A lot of royal willow here too. Oh yeah, I was this way before too, because I remember this holly oak here. So I gotta see how I get over there. Now I'm basically going back the way I came. So I remember that holly oak. I gotta try to find out how to get over there so I can walk along the lagoon. So I kind of want to expand on this a little bit more. Alright, I'll see you on the next clip. Let's see if I can navigate my way over there. Alright, yeah, I remember it was pretty dark when I walked through here earlier. Another wooded lemonade berry tunnel. It's not just lemonade berry, it's also mule fat, Gooding's black willow, blue elderberry. Yeah. I'm almost back at the junction that leads up to North Rios. I'm hoping the trail continues along that way. I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping it does, because I thought it did. If it doesn't, I'm kind of disappointing, to be honest with you. Could have sworn there was a trail that went over that way. Alright, so looks like it just leads right back. Could have sworn there was a trail that went that way. Alright, so now that I'm here, nearly back at my trailhead, I will have to point this out. This is a massive Fremont cottonwood right here. This is from earlier. This thing is huge. Populus fremontii, subspecies fremontii. This is a massive Fremont cottonwood. Very handsome tree. There's a pretty big royal willow right here too. Pretty big royal willow. Okay. Alright, so I'm seeing all this stuff now. Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. This is a massive toyon. This thing is massive. This thing is absolutely massive. Now we're in the daylight. Now I can show you a little bit better. That is a toyon tree. That is a toyon tree. Look at the size of this toyon. This thing is a tree. Probably about 30 feet tall. Oh, this is an arroyo willow right here too. This is another arroyo willow. A massive, humongous arroyo willow. The size of this trunk is ridiculous. This is crazy awesome. This is the trunk of an arroyo willow, which is normally a shrub. But no, this is a full-blown, massive arroyo willow. There's another pretty big one. So this one used to be bigger, but it lost parts of its trunk. Here's another pretty big arroyo willow right here too. Oh, speaking of willows, here's another type of willow, a red willow. We do have a few red willows here too. But I just can't get over this toyon. This thing is massive. This is a humongous toyon. It's about a 30-foot tree. This is pretty insane. And then there's that massive cottonwood right there. When I first started this morning, I couldn't get pictures of these because it was too dark. Now I guess I'm going to have to get some photographs of this area. But first, here we go. American horseweed. Erigeron canadensis. Alright, we gotta get some pictures of this. Coast live oak, of course. This agrifolia, variety agrifolia. See, this is where I went. Yeah, see, this is where I'm trying to go, this way. That's where I'm trying to go. There's another trail up there too. So this is where I am here. So what I want to do is go this way here. So let's see. I guess I have to go that way somehow. Let's see if I can navigate my way over there. So here's Rios. So we gotta go this way. Perfect. Alright. Ooh. Naked coral tree. Erythrina coralloides. Alright, so the trail's up here. So I just go back to my trailhead and go this way. Alright, well, back in business. Kinda hoping to go this way too. I'm going to put in at least a few miles today. Now, temperature is still actually relatively nice. Like I said, it's very humid and muggy, but oh, look at it. Look at this. Massive coyote brush here. Bacris pilolarus subspecies consanguinea. It's a pretty decent sized one. And we got this Myoporum parvifolium, another species of Myoporum. Remember earlier in the video I showed you the Ingayo tree, which is another Myoporum. Well, this is a ground cover relative of it. There are the white flowers that are very similar to Ingayo tree, and the little berry-like fruits that develop on it, also very similar to its tree relative. So we're going to walk along these little bluffs here and just going to enjoy the heck out of this part. This should be this should be an absolutely breeze walk. So, I mean, honestly, for me personally, the Andes Canyon Trail, it was steep. Going up the canyon was steep, but totally doable. I still rate this hike as very easy. Very enjoyable though. You don't have to make it extremely difficult to make it enjoyable. Okay, so here's a little side path I'm going to take. It should take me to a little lookout, if I remember correctly. Yeah, over there where there's some benches right over the lagoon. So yes, I'm going to try to get as much trail action as I can today. Like I said, I want to enjoy this fully and get the full impact. Oh, look at that. Nice toy on it. Okay. Oh yeah. It's like this trail takes you over this kind of levee-like little thing here. So this is San Elijo Lagoon. San Elijo Lagoon. Got a mixture of fragrances of coastal sage scrub with the California sagebrush growing through here, and the brackish water, which sometimes kind of has its little bit of a bitter aroma to it. So it's like a small like levee or whatever you want to call this. And Pickleweed City over here too. Should have brought my field guide. Meant to, but I failed to bring it. Get some pictures. So I'm just taking a short sit on this bench here, just relaxing, enjoying the views, the wildlife, the plants. So peaceful over here. Now this very stagnant water does give off a little bit of a funky odor. I'm not gonna lie, but it's just nice to be right here near the coast today. Where I live, it's gonna be probably 95 degrees again today. Here it might be like 78 to 81 maybe. Just nice views. So what I'm gonna end up doing is going back the way I came to the trail underneath the bluff, and I'm just going to follow what's called the pole trail along there. I think I'm going to go over that bridge over there. There's a bridge there, and there's a bridge there, and there's a nature center. I'm going to take my time. I'm just going to take my time and savor this. I'm going to get some miles in today, but I'm going to savor it and just enjoy it. Hopefully I get some pretty cool wildlife on camera. Yeah. Get some cool well, just enjoy it. Now I'm going to go ahead and get a sip of water, and then I will head back, and then I will join the pole trail and work my way along there and see what else I find. There goes the coaster. Right over there. It's been years. I mean, many years since I've been on a train of any sort. I think the last time I was on a train was back in 2009 when I took New Jersey Transit. I was going to Montclair State University. going to Montclair State University back then, and I was living in northern New Jersey, and I took the train into New York City to go to the Met Museum, Metropolitan Museum. And that was back in October of 2009. That was nearly 16 years ago. That was the last time I was on a train. And I've been on a train, a couple trains here in Southern California, but that was back almost 20 years ago when I was living in New Jersey and I came here to visit. Alright, so I'm going back. It's just a short walk. I'm going to go back to the trail junction, and I'm going to take the trail going along basically the shoreline. There's the power station right there, the pole trail. Should be cutting around the side of that, so I'll catch you over there. Alright, so I'm back at the trail junction. That's from whence I came before, and this is where I just did a small out and back to those benches. Now I'm going to go this way. Just go around the side of this bluff here, and then I'll end up just going along this until I join that trail over there. Atriplex leniformis, big salt bush, aka quail bush. Pretty common in these areas. So we're going back here. Okay. Actually, I think I came from, yeah. I'm gonna go head this way now. Cool. Got some Chuck Dudleys up here too. Picture of this Chuck Dudley is. Some more Atriplex leniformis. Now I'm smelling California sagebrush all along here, naturally. Right here. Yep. And some Cleomella arborea variety arborea. Bladder pod. Okay, pretty neat. Get ready to go around this small amphitheater here. Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. This is pretty nifty. That's why I wanted to take advantage of this whole section. There's even Heinz willow down there too. Alex exigua variety Heinziana. Wow. Now getting ready to round this bend here. It's very scenic. Very, very scenic here. Just a big wall of lemonade berry. And this is just enough moisture in the soil to keep these blooming here in Salea, Californica. Californian Salea, California bush sunflower, California brittle bush, a bunch of different nicknames for it. Look at this wall, look at these. Lemonade berry, blue elder. It's just a wall of awesomeness here. These blue elders still have most of their leaves. This one actually has a couple of flowers on it and some developing fruits. Wow, this is pretty insane. And here we are, Heinz willow again. Salix exigua variety Heinziana. Cool, yeah, a lot of botany here to keep the botanist interested on this hike. And of course, western ragweed in bloom. If you're an allergy sufferer, you might not be too keen on that plant, but it is a native. Tree tobacco. Tree tobacco is huge. Pretty decent sized toyons here too. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty fun. Yeah, there's a lot of Heinz willow growing here, so I've seen at least 4 different types of willows today. Let's see. Arroyo, red, Goodings, and Heinziana, Heinz willow. Interesting. Oh, there's a toy pine sapling. Got some big needles on it too. Cool. This is definitely worth some photography. Right near the little power facility. Yep. Saw that snowy egret, a couple snowy egrets today. This is where I am right now. Right here. So, this is where I am right now. Might make a side trip down that way too. I might go to the beach. Might go down that way too. Maybe when I come back. It's going up like this California bulrush. Yeah. And yeah, I saw this from a distance thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be an arroyo willow. Yeah, it's a pretty hefty thicket of it right here. Very handsome arroyo willow thicket. Got very large leaves on it. There's the power station there. We're going to bypass it on the left. So yeah, I might take that side trip later. Let's see what else I come across here. Next clip. Yeah, so we're coming up on some weird thing over here. I don't know what this is. You can't go beyond there, but I'm just curious. Ooh, a picture. My last picture was of these alkali heliotrope, Heliotropium corsavicum variety oculatum. A lot of coast golden bush here. Such a prolific plant, and it's native. They can take over some pretty harsh spots. Some old interpretive signs here. These were pictures from 2007. Wow. Boy, fall 2007. This was about 18 years ago. Wow. I was curious what this little spot was here. Maybe some kind of rehabilitation program up there. I don't know. It's fenced off for some reason. Some dirt mound behind it. There's another map of the lagoon. I'm just going to keep on trekking this way. Alright. Very mellow, peaceful, and I'm still getting some miles in. It's all a W for me. I'll take it. Just keep passing by thousands of these. Isocoma menziesii. And I've still got Bredy verninoides here. And here comes the next coaster. We got a lot of people coming up this way. Yep. Yep. Alright. I'll see you down the way. Get for that bridge, first bridge, probably about 5 minutes. I'll see you when I'm there, or if I find anything beforehand. Another snowy egret. Hey, little buddy. It's a younger one, a smaller one. A lot of egrets this morning. Yeah. Pretty neat. I haven't seen a lot of those today. Alright. We got some coastal dodder right here. Cuscuta pacifica. Growing on this right here, along that pickleweed. Little thready plant. Pretty neat. Coastal dodder. Cuscuta pacifica. Pretty neat. And of course, alkali heath right here. Kenia Solana. A lot of it here. A lot of it grown here. There's the first bridge. Be coming up to that in moments. Like these little pools here. See little bubbles at the surface. I wonder if those are fish doing that. I can't really see from here. Cool. I'm gonna go branch off this way and see what I can get to over here. What to do over here. Pretty cool. Change my camera too. Alright. Coming up on the first bridge right now. No diving. More snow egrets everywhere. This nature center should be over there. Curious about over there too, maybe. We'll see. Pretty interesting. All right. I'm not that far from the nature center. Definitely plan on exploring more. I'm definitely not fully sated for the day. It's like egrets galore today too. It's just a very enjoyable, very easy, nearly level walk. So I'm approaching bridge number 2. The Boer Nature Bridge. I don't know if the other one had a name. Pretty ducks. Pretty nice. Trail to explore too. Okay, here's a loop. I'm gonna take this whole loop then. Start off this way, and I'll come back. Cool. Breakfast time for the egret. A little channel coming through here. Just wondering if I'd see anything coming out of it. A little too murky to see clearly. Don't see any fish. That'd been cool to see some fish. There's little estuaries and stuff. You can see some pretty gnarly sea life. That's another reason why I wanted to extend the trip from Annie's Canyon all the way out here. Our trailhead is right over there. That's the end of North Rios Avenue. That's where I started. Went along that way to Annie's Canyon. And then came back. And I've been cutting along here for a while. I'm in no rush. I am in no rush because I'm just very much enjoying the peace and quiet. It's only 8:15. So I've been at it for a couple hours. Just enjoying walking around and checking out the scenery. We're heading towards some willows, cottonwoods, sycamores. Okay, it's about to get juicy again. All right, to some riparian woodland we go. More arroyo willow popping up. More western ragweed. Say what you may about ragweed. I know people don't like it because it causes allergies. It's a neat looking plant. All right. Look at this wall, literal wall of arroyo willow here. This is arroyo willow. Ooh, look at that. Nice shady retreat. Just a massive thicket of these gorgeous arroyo willows. There's a California sycamore in there too. Right, all the way through all this, you can see that lighter green tree right there is this California sycamore. Yeah, more of this western ragweed. Trying to see if I can get the aroma. It does have a small, slight camphor aroma. I'm gonna try to be careful with the sun and everything, but look at that. It's got a glorious. It grows off of the green. Here's a boardwalk here. Tempted to check it out. Oh, okay. Hey, we just entered the green zone, buddy. Look at this. Look at these big California blackberry vines just draping all over everything in here. And it's just almost the monotypic stand of arroyo willow. This almost reminds me of the trout pond trailhead at Cuyamaca Rancho State Park in the mountains. There's a whole big stand of arroyo willows everywhere. Yeah. Cool. Oh, this is an oasis right here. And we get some younger sycamore trees with humongous leaves. Look at the leaves on these sycamores. Look at the size of the leaves on these trees. You know these things get watered here. That is huge. Those are some huge leaves. And of course, Fremont cottonwood. No surprise there. I love these coastal trails too. Oh man, this is pretty nice. I'm very tempted to go do an out and back and then continue going around. And of course, a common sight. This is mule fat, Baccharis salicifolia, subspecies salicifolia. All over the place here. Wow, arroyo willow wonderland here. And we got some, oh, somebody planted this cottonwood tree here. Somebody planted these cottonwoods to try to revegetate the area. Cool little floodplain here. Yeah, this is pretty dope. Huh. There's something interesting over here. It's a Channel Islands native here. Trying to see if I could see what subspecies this is. This is Lionothamnus floribundus. Trying to see what subspecies this is. called Catalina ironwood, or lion tree. It's a large shrub, small tree in the rose family that's native here on the Channel Islands. That looks like subspecies Lesplenia folius, the one that's native, endemic to Santa Catalina Island. Catalina Island ironwood. Yeah, I think that's subspecies Lesplenia folius. Can't get close enough to see it though. Pretty cool. Because the Lesplenia folius is divided into leaflets, whereas the regular one is not. Oh, good morning, western fence lizard. Handsome little guy. And another one. Just getting their early morning sun. There's another one. And another one. And another one. Look at this. Everywhere I turn, there's another lizard. It's all good because I love lizards. I love them all. I love all these creatures. Oh, maybe I could see that lion tree. I'm gonna go around this way and take a closer look at it. Here it is. Yeah, this is the fernleaf Catalina ironwood. This is the fernleaf subspecies. So this is Lionothamnus floribundus subspecies Lesplenia folius. I think this one's completely endemic to Santa Catalina Island, because we have two subspecies of this one. Lionothamnus floribundus subspecies floribundus, which has got simple leaves. This one's kind of divided into leaflets, which is again subspecies Lesplenia folius. So yeah, this is Catalina ironwood. It's a large shrub to small tree, typically multi-trunked. Yeah. I don't see them very often. So you plant them here and they'll usually be fine. But knowing that there was a little sidewalk here, I had to get a closer look at that. Sweet. Yep. Pretty cool. Look at this toyon too. This is a really densely packed big toyon. This is actually related to the Catalina ironwood. They're in different groups of the rose family, the Rosaceae. This one's related to more closely related to the apples and the pears, whereas the ironwood I think it might be more closely related to the roses, I think. Either that or maybe some of our other names like Shanice and stuff like that. What an enchanted place. I think this place opens at 9 a.m. but I'm in no rush right now. Yeah, the lizards are really out this morning. Kind of happy to see that too. I love looking at our lizards. All western fence lizards so far. Yeah, this has been a fun walk. Not gonna lie. This has been really fun. Yeah. Western fence lizard. And again, Belding's orange-throated whiptail. This is our local subspecies of Ospidocilus hyperithra beldingi, and a San Diego alligator lizard. Oh, baby western fence lizard. All the juveniles are out today too. Back there. Sorry about the sun. Let me see if I can. Right there. That's a Shaw's agave. Agave Shai, variety Shai. order this little trail here. Just see what's going on. Pretty neat. Right up on Manchester. Manchester's right up here. Just be a turnaround over here. There's some more babies. Look at that. That's a baby fence lizard right there. Lots of juveniles out this morning. Cool. Must be hatchling season. Okay. Manchester. This is going to be my next turnaround. Just taking a short walk up on top of this. It's not really a sidewalk here. Coast Choya. And the green stuff right here. California spine shrub, Dolphia californica. Okay. Kind of an interesting walk. We're above the nature center now. Yeah, here we go. Right down here. That's what I was pointing out earlier, but it was so bright and sunny, couldn't see it. Shaw's agave, again. There's the old inflorescence from this year. Agave Shai, variety Shai. Wow, pretty cool. Oh, we got more Shaw's agave by the Nature Center. Yeah, look at all that lemonade berry covering that slope. Tell me that's not amazing. You told me that was not amazing, I would have to disagree. Gosh, western fence lizards are in force today. Lagoon Visitor Center. So we're approaching the entrance from this side. Yep, pretty magical out here. Right here on Manchester Avenue. Said no pedestrians over there. Well, didn't see it till it was already done. We are back in the center. We are again. There's another trail. Guy heading over that way. Looks like that might be part of that loop trail. I'm gonna go head that way now. Maybe come back, see what I missed. Fremont Cottonwoods over here. Wow. Okay, it just leads back to the street. Okay. This is going to be another trail to take. Yeah, look at these very leafy, beautiful cottonwoods. Yep. Beautiful Populus fremontii, subspecies fremontii. One of the most commonly known cottonwoods of the West, the Wild West. All right, wow. I'm gonna go back and find a place to sit, get some water, and see you on the next clip. So I'm back over here again, right by the nature center. Here we go. Some more Shah's agave. Wow, they're sending up inflorescence spheres too. How gorgeous is this agave? Agave Shayi, variety Shayi. I'll be coming back here in a little bit probably to check it out when it's open. So I got a few minutes before the nature center opens. So let's see. This is where I am here. Interesting. I want to do the outer loop actually. Yeah. This is where I am right here. I want to do the outer loop. I want to do the longer one. Let's see. Let's see if I can make it happen somehow. Back over this boardwalk. Wanted to see how I can make this a longer loop. I think this is the shorter loop. I wanted to do the longer one while I still have some time before the nature center opens. So I'm going to see if I can get back and turn left at the junction. See where that leads. All right, let's see. All right, so I'm gonna go head this way. This is where I came. This is from whence I came earlier before going by the nature center. I'm gonna go take this and see where this goes. I wonder if this will meet back with the nature center. I kind of hope it does. Yeah, this is very enchanted. This is very, very beautiful. Oh, these big red willows. Oh, these are massive. This is Salix Livigata. These are huge. Look at the trunks on these. This right here is an arroyo willow trunk. which is at least the same size trunk. But these things are typically much smaller. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me see here. Making sure I'm looking at the right thing. It's kind of confusing because now, looking over here, where are these coming from the same? No. This is a red willow. This is a red willow trunk. Pretty similar. Oh, this is a red willow. The royal willow's mixed in there. Dang. These things are huge. Dang, these things are massive. Wow. Yeah, this is a red willow here. This is a Gooding's willow here. Gooding's black willow here. Yeah. Gooding's black willow, I think, is our largest species. It's very beautiful. These willows got some massive trunks on them. Yeah, this is a Gooding's black willow here. Wow, this is absolutely stupendously beautiful. Wow, I love these willow groves. Oh wow, yes, some of these are massive, massive willows. Willows are generally not large trees to begin with. Here's a really tall Fremont cottonwood over here. That thing's got some height to it. I can't see how high it is, but pretty tall. Yeah. Sorry for all the ambient noise, but some construction or something going on over there. Oh yeah, this is the other part of the loop. I had to take this part too. I had to. I would be missing out if I didn't. This is gorgeous. Got a couple Torrey pines up ahead too. Look at that. Beautiful trees. Here's the non-native horseweed. I'm not sure if this is Bonariensis or Sumatrensis. Can't tell those apart. Yeah, okay. A little Torrey pine grove here. I just got a whiff of the pine too. Make the scent of these pines mix it in with the sycamores and the mule fats. This is definitely quite a spread in aroma. Here's decent pictures for this. Here I am, part of the trail going this way. Then we got this here, Manchester Avenue. I don't know how I didn't see this part of the loop earlier. I'm just gonna enjoy that I'm here on it right now. I love how they got Torrey pines growing in here too. Okay, these Torrey pines are full of cones too, older cones. I'm trying to see if I've seen green cones in these trees. Oh gosh, this is a pretty decent sized one too. Well, that's a pretty gnarly sized tree. Oh, this is a beauty. Oh wow, cool. Look at these Torrey pines. Beautiful trees. Absolutely stunning tree. It's gonna be time for a few more pictures. Talked about Coast Goldenbush earlier, Isocoma menziesii variety verdenoides. Well, here's the other one here. This is Isocoma menziesii variety menziesii. This is a tall one too. Yeah, this is Isocoma menziesii variety menziesii, the other upright variant. Interesting. All right, here's Manchester Avenue right here. Okay, here's the outer loop. All right. Back in I go. Back in. And here I am going along this side again. It's funny. Alright, let's go see if the nature center's open yet. I am at the nature center. Might poke around for a few minutes and see what's good. Displays. Yep. Saw one of those a couple weeks ago. Here we go. Lecanura or Cuddy. Yep, finally got to see my first one in the wild. And here's another one here. Lampropeltis. Lampropeltis gatuli. Lampropeltis californiae. Look at that. Beautiful. What beautiful. Torrey sandstone. This is what's in Annie's Canyon. Yep. Yep. I was right. I didn't even read that till now. Pretty cool. velvet ant. That was a velvet ant. Interesting. I don't want to be too loud in there, disturb everybody. Pretty cool displays. Pretty cool displays, gotta admit. Alright, now it's time to start heading around. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make another loop. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head this way and around. Ooh, narrow leaf four-wing saltbush. Atriplex canescens variety linearis. Linear leaf four-wing saltbush. Slightly broader leaf variant is variety canescens. Okay, well, let's see if I can make yet another loop out of this. My day does not need to be over now. Maybe I'll go see if I can access the trail going around there. We'll see. This was it. But I did see earlier somebody walking this way, so I don't know. Well, maybe I'll make another out and back. Who knows? I'm going to start heading this way. Alright, so I'm kicking it here. Jumping, yeah, I'm trying to see. Out of the corner of my eye, I think I saw a straight mullet. Every now and then, I'll get lucky and see one jumping out of the water. Remember when I was a kid, Mission Bay, I used to see mullets, striped mullet jumping out of the water in Mission Bay. I can see some fish swimming around. I think they're striped mullets. Yeah, I can see them all swimming around, all crazy. I don't think you'll see them too well on camera, unfortunately. Yeah, I can kind of see them swimming around a little bit. They're a gang of fish. Yeah, they're definitely striped mullets because of the fork-shaped fin, fork-shaped rear fin. Yeah, those are definitely striped mullets. I don't know if you'll see them too well on camera. I hope you can, because those things are neat. Yeah. There's one right by the shore. Oh, you can see it on camera. I can see it through the viewfinder. Yep, striped mullets. Every now and then you'll see one or some jump out of the water briefly. Cool. Yeah, so if you're at Mission Bay, you're hanging out at the beach, and you see some medium-sized fish jumping out of the water, most likely that's a striped mullet. Looks like the whole group kind of shook the spot already. I still see some a few feet out. Those things get up about to 4.5 feet long, apparently. 134.5 centimeters. Cool. There's one just kind of right there, just chilling. Just waiting to see if I can see one jump out of the water. Seem to do it just out of the random. So, of course, as soon as I turn the camera off, one will jump. Cool. Pipefish, stingray, California halibut, and killifish, and gobies. Gobies are tiny. Cool. All right. God, this is a lot of fun. Yep. Audubon's cottontail. Yeah, it looks like a lot of salt grass. That's native salt grass. And some more alkali heath. All right. I'm going to be going over this bridge and see if I get any more wildlife sightings too. There you go. Very interesting. Very interesting. I can finally see some jumping out of the water. Ooh. Here's something I haven't seen in many years. Of course, it's not up close, but that plant right there with the flowers, that is California marsh rosemary. Limonium californicum. The only native species of limonium in this area. There are a bunch of different species of limonium that are not native and escape from cultivation, but that is the native Limonium californicum right there. Cool. Haven't seen one of those in many years. Fortunately, it's not up close, but pretty sick, and nevertheless. Limonium californicum. I haven't seen one of those in many years. Last time I saw one was probably in 2013 or 2014 at Bolsa Chica Ecological Reserve near Huntington Beach. Huntington and Seal Beach in northwestern Orange County. You got a great blue heron or something over here too. Very interesting. Pretty darn neat. Just got to get kind of crowded up ahead a little bit, so I'm filming as much as I'm over on the other side of the bridge. Good gang of people coming up now. That's why I love getting early starts. Alright, so back over that the other bridge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to join the main trail. I'm going to continue on this way. Maybe I'll get lucky and get close enough to the water to get a more detailed look at some of the wildlife and some of the shoreline plants. Alright, so now I'm going to be heading this way, whereas when I went to the nature center, I went up this way. So I'm going to get ready for another out and back. Should be just close enough to some of the water features to maybe pick out some more plant and animal life. Looks like I just never get enough seeing it and never get enough documenting it. See a bunch of little crawling arthropods over there. I'm not going to walk that close because A, you're supposed to stay on trail, and B, I don't want to disturb any wildlife. Okay. I see a lot of California horn snails. California horn snails, those little black dots on the screen. Those are California horn snails. Alright. I was definitely meant to do this hike today. Very much enjoying this. Very much. Let's see what's in on this side here. See a lot more. Oh no, I don't see as much on this side. Yeah, the action seems to be over here. A little bit more water. Offshoot here. This will probably grant me some slightly closer access. I'm not going to go too far because, again, I don't want to degrade the ecosystem. California. Orange snail shells all over the ground. I'll just go to the end of this, no further, just out of respect for the nature, of course. So I do respect it very much, very highly. Do see some small fish, probably California top smelt, probably. Lots of small fish swimming around. I'm assuming they're probably top smelt and other smaller fishes. Well, how much further this goes. Might be up at the end of the line already. I am, yes I am. So beautiful. Peaceful. Very nice. Okay, I think this is where the end of the line is. So I'll just go up as close as I can to the water and see if I can see some interesting critters. What do we got up here? Here's a big bird. What do we got here? Can't tell. Wow. Can't tell. That's a pretty big one too. Just make sure I don't stand right underneath it in case he or she just decides to, you know, relieve him or herself. So, oh, here we go. There we go. Some more striped mullets. Just less than 10 feet away from it. Yep. One just popped out. There's a gang of them swimming under. Probably barely see them on camera because the water's kind of dark and murky here. And we've got a gang of birds chilling on that sandbar right there. Wow, yeah, this is pretty nice. I love going to the mountains and canyons and stuff. And I had a little canyon action today. But I definitely like coming by the coast too because there's a lot to see, a lot to do. Just this whole county's just got so much going on. Oh yeah, they're starting to stir up down there. Straight mullets, baby. I believe the taxonomical name is Mugilcephalus, I believe. I'll double check that. Alright, yeah, I already know this video is really long as it is right now because I had to pop in another memory card. Sorry in advance. But I think we might have some gobies down here too. There might be some gobies. Most of the striped mullets seem to have passed on and moved on to another spot. But I see a lot of smaller ones, smaller fish, swimming around not that far from the shoreline. Cool. Yeah, some more mullets have come by. Those are such handsome fish. You know, if you already know me by now, especially when I talk about plants, I say pretty much every plant I see is beautiful. I think the same thing about wildlife too. I just love seeing wildlife too, just like I love seeing plants. I love seeing it. I love seeing wildlife. And watching these fish is just so entertaining. It's so entertaining to watch all these different species of fish swimming around in here. And these mullets are pretty handsome too. Beautiful fish. They're just fun to watch too, especially when they jump out of the water. Straight mullets, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so I guess this is another small out and back. So now what I need to do is unfortunately start trekking my way back. However, there's another potential adventure another potential out and back that should be able to up the adventure factor a little bit more. Well, a nice chunk of the way back, there's a tunnel that goes underneath the train tracks. I think it might lead towards the beach, so we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I am not at all ready for this adventure to be done. So stick with me. Sorry this video is so long, but it can't be helped. It's too much to do, too much to see. It's back by the bridge, but what's over here? I'm curious what's over here. I think this is a higher tide area. I'm just curious. There was a water channel here too. I had a feeling there was going to be one. Some more horn snails too. California horn snails. Pretty neat. Pretty nice. Pretty interesting. All right, back on my way to the next junction. Should be a bridge that goes underneath the railroad tracks at some point, and we'll see. I'm just very slowly savoring this walk along here. Here we go, lemonade berry right here. Even in this salty soil, lemonade berry seems not to care. Obviously it's a lot more stunted here, but lemonade berry just loves to get down with it all. I admit this has been so much fun. That's probably why the video is so long. I apologize in advance, but oh boy, just so much natural beauty here, and I just feel I guess you could say I'm kind of a nature documentarian, I guess. I like to document nature. That's why I have the camera with me on every hike, whether it's a short little quarter of a mile or 10, 15 mile plus epic. I gotta have this with me. Here's more Atriplex leniformis, quail bush, or giant salt bush. Very cool. There's a lot of botanical variety, a lot of avifauna, there's birds up the wazoo, and it's all the reason why I document wherever I go. I never know what I'm going to see. I know what I'm going to see, but I know mostly what I'm going to see, but then the surprises pop out, and I'd really be doing a disservice to the people who like watching my admittedly redonkulously long videos, a disservice by not documenting all the great stuff I find. Alright, enough yapping. I should be finding that tunnel in a few minutes. I'm almost by the power pole. Not that far away from the trailhead. It's just up that way. It's not that far away. It's not a super long hike, but I'm sure as heck savoring it. Got ourselves a red-tailed hawk. Just landed on that power pole. Right up there in the center. Buteo jamaicensis. Just happened to see that out of the corner of my eye. What a handsome bird. I saw that reddish colored tail. Wow. Beautiful bird. Just love watching these animals. I've always had a like for birds. However, I've struggled. I'm trying to get better at identifying birds. I've really had a little bit of a struggle because there are so many species of birds. Here we are right here. Look at that proud hawk right there. Hello, buddy. Aren't you just a beauty? Wow. Red-tailed hawk. All right, so I think I'm near that tunnel. I'm gonna go slick my way underneath it. Gosh, this is so incredibly beautiful. This is so incredibly beautiful. I have not had one moment that I have regretted on this entire hike. This is a very easy hike. This is a very easy hike. A little bit of steep climbing up Annie's Canyon, but it's short. It's doable. All right. Time for the next potential out and back. Let's see how this goes. Right here. Let's see where this leads. Wow, look at that. More California bulrush, mule fat, arroyo willow, you name it, it's here. And we're gonna go crawl underneath some coast goldbush starting to bloom. Yep, the beach is just over there, I think. Ooh, it's cool in here. Oh, it feels great. Feels very nice. I wonder if I can access the beach from here. Hope so, that'd be nice, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll take this for a while and see where it leads. Oh, it's really nice and cool under there. Wow. All right. See up the way and see what happens next. All right, so over here now, trying to see where this leads. Just curious. The trail going this way, and we got this trail here. Nice patch of coastal sage scrub here too. Nature collective. Some more shots of agave right there in the middle. Cool. Sorry for the sunbeam there, but look how hard this is. Is this sandstone or pavement? I guess it's pavement. It's hard to tell. People got surfboards going. This might be kind of Delmar manzanita. Arctostaphylos glandulosa subspecies crassifolia. Cool. Okay. I can dig it. And I am digging it. Here we are. Cardiff by the Sea is the name of this area here. I guess I really can't cross over here. I have to go by the light. Yeah. Delmar manzanita growing here. There's some foxtail agave right here too. Interesting. Okay. Ooh, silver beach burr. It's like Ambrosia camisonus. This is related to western ragweed. Let me see if it's got a fragrance to it. Maybe. Yeah, a little bit. Almost a little bit. It's more alkali heliotrope. Let's see if I can safely get across this. I made it. Down by the beach. Cool. Nice little decadent little garden here. Some big foxtail agave. Let's go hang out by the beach for a few minutes. Some interesting palms over there. Alright, South Cardiff State Beach. One of California state parks. And what do we got here? Washingtonia fallifera, California fan palms. The only native palm to the southwestern United States. Usually you don't see these planted by the coast too much. They're usually not as adapted to sea coast as those Washingtonia robustas, the Mexican fan palms. But these are California fan palms with the stouter trunks. Cool. Alright. By the beach for a few minutes. Alright. Now right by the beach. This was not a planned site trip. I just decided to go for it just because I'm close. Yep. Yep. Pretty interesting. More shots agave. Cool. Alright. Here's a nice, lesser populated spot. Alright, sit by and look at the beach. Spot. Alright, cool. Monterey cypress. Cool, look at that Monterey cypress. Cool, two of them. Yeah. Boy, if I had an amazingly interesting day. Not gonna lie. This is definitely one for the record books. We'll head out this way. Start heading back. There's a Washingtonia robusta. Both species of Washingtonia. Of course, some non-native Rhododendron, giant reed. So I'm leaving Cardiff State Beach. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my crossing point. Yeah, buddy. Bonnie, I love it. I gotta go cross over here. Wait to cross. Some traffic coming up this way. Let's see if I can make it happen. Here we go. Let's go follow this back under the bridge. All right, I'll start heading back. Pretty interesting day. All right, start heading my way back. It's starting to get pretty warm out here now. Time to start heading back. Boy, this has been an interesting day. When I get back in my car, I'm gonna just bust out the air conditioning. Man, this has been an absolutely fun day. Made a few different out and backs. I had to explore more. I was not going to be satisfied with just doing Annie's Canyon. Very much made the right decision of cutting under the bridge. Glad I did. This was a good decision. I even got to go to the beach for a few minutes. Really short. Didn't hang out there long, but it was worth it. All right, see you back under the bridge. Back in the tunnel. That's where it's like 15 degrees cooler in here. Okay, back in San Elijo Lagoon. More mule fat. Telegraph aster, and some cocklebur, native cocklebur. Okay, now what I need to do is go back this way. This is the way I came. It's the way from which I came earlier. Walk around this amphitheater. I should be back in my car fairly soon. What a W day. Pretty much every day I get out is a W day. So I'm just going to take it as that and enjoy it as such. Nice to get out here and experience the awesomeness. All right, see you on the next clip. Douglas mugwort, Artemisia douglasiana. Wow. So I've seen 4 species of Artemisia today. I think all 4 species of Southern California native, I believe. One of them I didn't point out because it was really small and off of the trail. Would have been a good camera shot. But California sagebrush, Artemisia californica, Artemisia dracunculus, dragon sagewort, Douglas mugwort, Artemisia douglasiana, and I did see a couple of smaller Palmer sageworts, Artemisia palmeri, California scrub jay. Look at the luxuriant growth on this lemonade berry here. Very dense thickets of it. What a treasure. This was a treasure of a day. There's that Torrey pine again. Pretty decent sized one with a big trunk. Look at this. Look at the trunk on this. I'm trying to figure out what kind of Baccharis this is. It looks a little bit like broom Baccharis, Baccharis cyrothorides. Slightly different about it. I'm going to stick with cyrothorides, but I had to make sure it wasn't Baccharis salicina or Baccharis pilolaris consanguinea. I saw a couple Baccharis that looked like they might have been potentially Baccharis salicina, but I wasn't able to fully confirm it. All right, very peaceful day out here. Some more Coast Choya coming up. I'll see you when I'm over there. Yes, indeed, some more Cylindropuntia prolifera. Coast Choya. Occasional pop-up here and there. One thing I'm dreading is getting out of the car when I get home, when it's going to be probably 95 degrees where I live. That's an interesting looking prickly pear. I think that's got hybrid DNA in it. It might have Opuntia prolifera, Opuntia auricola, potentially Opuntia ficus indica. Former 2 native, latter 1 not native. Beautiful day. Beautiful exploration of this area. Yeah, this one here. This is more like Baccharis pilolaris subspecies consanguinea. I saw some with some larger leaves that could potentially be Baccharis salicina, but I'm not 100% sure because they might be just outsized pilolaris, or coyote brush. Alright, so I'm heading on the home stretch back to the car. I'm starting to get tired. I've been out for good few hours today. But a very much enjoyable day out here. Very glad I came out and enjoyed this. Okay. Get a few more pictures. I'll be on my home stretch back up to the terminus of North Rios. All right, just about at the trailhead. That's the trail down to Andy's Canyon. this is the trail head right at the end of North Rios. Alright, so that's basically going to do it for today's hike. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed coming along with me. And I'll see you on my next adventure.